Alright, so we're here at Stumphouse Tunnel, or Stumphouse Park. So you just fill out a little envelope. I think it's $5, yeah, per card daily. Oh, you can scan to purchase online. Maybe I should have done that. So anyway, so we gotta fill out all this. This is like the ones you see for the state parks too. So I'll do that and we'll make our way to the trailhead. I was trying to get a cute shot, but it's not working out too good. Let's see. There we go. Alright, anyway, we'll make our way. Gorgeous day today. So I will note today is April 6th. First hike of April. So we are headed, obviously we're in Stumphouse Park. We're going to hike the Stumphouse Passage and the Ross Mountain Passage out to Oconee. So where we were at on our last hike and we saw where Ross Mountain ended, that's where we'll end up today, and we're just doing it as an out and back. All total, and doing the old water wheel trail that's in Oconee, I think it's gonna be like 13.3 miles. So yeah, it should be a fun little day hike. Got some picnic shelters and grills and bear canisters and all that. Oh, how did I miss the entry? Well, anyway, I guess I need to turn around and figure out the entry. But anyway, so you go up that hill to go to Stumphouse Tunnel. There is some parking here. Like I say, there's also parking like over in that little gravel area, but somehow I missed the turn in there because it is one way in and out, and they've got bathrooms and stuff. So I'm thinking I probably was supposed to turn where I was showing y'all, but for some reason I thought that was another entrance, but apparently not. So we'll take a left here. But it would be a right coming into the park. And then, okay, yeah, Palmetto trailhead. So there's the bathrooms. Hopefully they're unlocked. So as you can see, it's a pretty good sized little parking area here. Several picnic tables. I got a little gazebo by the lake over there. I guess this is like a little hand washing station. They got men's and women's bathrooms. So the women's was really clean. They got a nice little hanger here to hang your pack or whatever. Toilet, they actually have plenty of toilet paper, so it's clean. But anyway, we can get our packs on and hit the trail. Alright, so we're started. Car is locked. Apparently it thinks I'm already off course. And we might walk up to the tunnel when we get back. It's just such a pretty morning. So you can see they've got some more like picnic tables and stuff over here. As you can see, I mean, this is right by the parking area. So that's something to note. This trailhead, there's hours, so. Okay, so here's the passage. So we're here. I'm gonna take this up to Ross Mountain. It says future Ross Mountain, but it's actually done, so we will do that. Nothing on the back. Park construction, because they are trying to add, I think, like 20 more miles or 10 more miles of trails. So, and they got like a bike repair station and all that. So here's the Palmetto Trail. And just as a note, if you're coming here to bike ride, is they do ask that you don't ride here when it's wet, because they don't want the trails to be get rutted out and stuff, probably. You know, like I say, this is another passage where there's no camping, just hiking and biking. Where's the Palmetto at? Where that goes? So this is another one of those. I think I remember saying this when I was here before, was that I didn't feel like this was marked very well, because I really don't know which way the Palmetto goes here. So let's check the map. See, I mean, even on the map, it doesn't show these 3 different trails. So I'm assuming we stay straight, because that looks like the most used. But I mean, like I say, there's no signs. So this confusing junction is at 0.15. Get behind me. I literally don't see any, like, of the trail sign things. So down there's those ruins that I showed. So I'll link it at the beginning of the video where I was here before and wandered around all these ruins and stuff. There's some of the irises. As you can tell, people wander around down there. Because this is pretty cool just to see the ruins and stuff. We'll walk down to see the lake. It says this is at 0.2. Watch out for tripping hazards, obviously. And it's pollen season. I think that's what that stuff is in the water right there, is pollen. And we won't, tripping uphill. We won't wander around that. Y'all can watch my other video for that. But it is cool to wander, just to be safe about it, because you know, it's not the most safe, because you got pipes and, you know, loose stuff and all that. So just use caution. We're back. Oh no, we're not back on the track. Now we're back on the main trail at 0.24. At least I hope this is the Palmetto. I was like, I haven't seen any other signs So oh, okay, we're on the Palmetto. Good to see a sign. But I will say that probably the best view of the little lake is from the top of that dam. As you can see, you kind of see it through the trees, but actually get a nice lake view. It's better on top of that dam. Just be careful. Alright, so the Palmetto goes straight here, but I'm gonna go right down here. Let maybe Sally get a drink of water. 0.44. That goes up here to like another little dam. We're back at the main trail, 0.51. So this little bridge is at 0.6. So they do have directional trails here, as you can see. Sally, it says do not enter, and you're entering. Come on. Shoo, something stinks here. I wonder if that's where it's dried out there. Downhill bikes only. And that's something probably worth considering. I mean, I think I'm the first one here today, so like right now, listening and watching for bikes ain't a big concern, but if you're coming when there's a bunch of bikes and stuff, like, you know, it's kind of like Pleasant Ridge. Like, don't be walking or hiking with earbuds in, because you need to be able to hear so you can get out of the way. But Pollock Falls. Not really a good trail to get down to it, but at least they have cleared it out, because before this was all grown up in my last video. So at least now you can kind of see it. It's really pretty. Maybe eventually the park will add some sort of like little viewing platform or something to actually see it. This little bridge is at 0.79. Not sure what the green dot is. It's the first one of those signs I've seen, so I don't know if that's marking like an easy trail. So at 0.95, just before the lake, a little cascade. Looks like people are kind of going down the rocks right here. So there's a couple of mountain bikers. I thought there used to be a bigger sign there. Huh. Okay, so we go that way to get on the Palmetto. So we're currently here. So this kind of gives you a scale of like, or essentially where all the like the bike trails are. But you can tell it. I wonder how old that is. So to this point, it's 0.98. So that to the right is another one of the bike paths, but we're going to go left here at 1.03. Azalea. So here's a junction. This goes to the bike trails. Going left here, 1.27, but we're going to go straight to stay on the Palmetto. I mean, just where there's little metal signs are located, like you would think there would be one on a tree here. But there's not. Now granted, there is a sign here, but still, at most of these junctions, there's not been like a metal sign. But anyway, no big deal. I'll say 1.27, and to this point, we've done 236 elevation gain, feet of elevation gain. There's trees across the trail. Oh, it's kind of rotten, broke. 1.28. And it's just past that split. See, I think that's another one of the bike paths there. This little junction is at 1.57. Okay, Palmetto Trail turns to the right here at 1.72. Alright, so this is the end of Stumphouse Passage at 1.73. So now we have the Ross Mountain Passage, which you can see for the first like mile and a half is trail, and then it's another like almost 2 mile road walk, and then it turns back into single track up here in Oconee, and that's near the end. So it's 4.9 miles one way, moderate to difficult. I don't have a elevation map on it, but I think it's on the Avenza. I'll check. Yeah, 1.5 mile gravel road stretch. Okay, you skim the slope of Ross Mountain, but you don't go over it. Yeah. Nothing here on the back side. Just Stumphouse Passage, little thing you can scan, I guess, for the map. So there's the elevation profile, and that's going from Stumphouse to Oconee. 4.98. That's down here. So yeah, so Stumphouse to Oconee is going that way. So anyway, we'll start that. This is at 1.73. And I really don't know, I guess this down here is considered the trail. Alright, so this is all new territory from here on, because I haven't hiked this particular passage. Entering SCDNR Heritage Preserve property, stay on trail, Sally style. Boy, that's some kind of road. This is that 1.75 is the road, the SCDNR, because it's you're entering it over there, you're entering it from this way. It's just kind of odd. Now this would be a cool trail to bike. Like parts of that where we walked up on Stumphouse, I don't know that my skill level would get me up to this point, but it would be cool to bike this part because it's more rolling and not so many like roots and all that. But, man, it's just a gorgeous day. Oh, I see. Yeah, that right there, it's right here be where I'd wreck if I was on a bike. See people are sliding. Cause I'd probably crash into the tree. That's a 2.31 little bridge. Oops. So here's the road walk. So I say there's about 1.5 miles of this. So and this is at 3.04. And I say this is about 1.5 miles road walk. I tried looking up what this bush is, but it says no content found. Public dove field. I've literally never heard of that. So that's a first. 3.22. No entry before 12 noon. Hunters are limited to 50 shells per hunt. From 12 to 6 are shooting hours. Bag limit 15 birds per hunter per day. Open Saturday afternoon only. Of course, that's when I'm here too. Well, at least if I hear shooting, I don't know what it is. It's interesting. And there's a field also on the other side. So I'm assuming all these fields maybe are dove fields. Nice view over there. So I guess here's like kind of the upper end of this dove field. Maybe it keeps going that way. Looks like that'd be a cool view through the trees there. So this may be trumpet honeysuckle. Some sort of birds. I wonder if those are doves. Yeah, so this big dove field just keeps going. This is a 3.48. There's some sort of gated something. 3.78. Wow. So one thing I will note is that we just got passed by a car and like it was just a trail of dust. I mean, the guy wasn't going fast or anything, so it wasn't that. It's just the nature of being on a dirt road. So I just kind of stopped and just let the dust settle before I kept walking because I didn't want to walk into a dust cloud. But, I mean, there's offshoots. I think this is the one that goes over the top of Ross Mountain. 724C. Because I'm pretty sure this right here is Ross Mountain. So I don't know like if this is private land or anything, so that's why I'm not taking any of the offshoots, because I don't know if you have to get like special privileges or, you know, some sort of approval and all that. So we'll just stick to the trail. Some nice views here. At 4.04, it's a nice view looking kind of northwest, and there's a big peak, but I can't figure out what it is because you're looking toward Raven, but I don't think that's Raven Bald. But that's a cool view nonetheless. There's a little gated area. 4.26. So it just says road closed. Posted. Oh, private property. It's at 4.5. So at 4.54, it looks like there's some private maybe residences or something. Because I don't think those are forestry road numbers, because they're typically not. I've never seen one like that. And it also says like no trespassing and all that too. So at 4.69, a nice view looking south and east. Around the 4.76 mile mark, there's a nice viewpoint. Looking at whatever those mountains are. I don't know if that, I'm trying to figure out if that's Paris Mountain or not. We're all looking toward Greenville and stuff. I just don't know of any bigger mountains, you know, other than Paris Mountain that's looking that way, because like between here and there is just like Clemson easily, which, I mean, there's no real mountains in that. I mean, I know Clemson has the experimental forest, but I don't think there's any like big, like not mountains like what we're seeing, I would think. I could be wrong, but it's just cool. It's a cool view up here. And I don't know what that is. There's no sign saying that it's anything. Alright, so this is the end of the road walk. So to stay on the Palmetto Trail, we go that way. But I just kind of want to walk over this way, see if there's a view. So this is at 4.97. Maybe it's just a bathroom trail. Or like some sort of Jeep trail. So we'll turn around here, head back to the trail. Alright, we're back on the trail, 5.04. Alright, here we go left. I don't know where it's going that way. They don't show a trail or anything. So this is at 5.06. I wonder if this is the state park boundary. It is. This is the park boundary here. So we're now entering Oconee State Park. It's a nice change of pace from the road. I wonder if this is the other side of that little trail that we saw earlier. This is at 5.37. Alright, so here's the trail junction. So that goes to the campground, the state park that way. It's the Oconee Trail. But we're staying straight to stay on the Palmetto Trail. Of course, Stumphouse is where we came from earlier. And Oconee Station is this way as well. So this is at 5.46. And I'll show you all the map. So yeah, we're the blue dot. So that goes down and goes by Oconee State Park, lake number 2. Lake number 1 is the one we circled around last week. So we want to just stay straight. So we're not far from the end, maybe another 1.25 miles or so. So this is a major junction. So the Oconee Trail kind of makes a loop if you go left. But it also overlaps the old water wheel trail on this lower portion. But we are going to stay straight, I believe. I don't know where this goes. I don't show anything. So you can see it kind of goes to where like the parking area for the Foothills Trail is. If you go left, So we're gonna go straight. This is at 5.9. And the old water wheel loops using this, and I believe the Foothills Trail, or like it's a separate, I think it's its own separate trail. So yeah, just at 6.03. It looks like there's an old trail going right, but it's not marked or anything. So I'm assuming that's just an old trail. So we stay left here. This is 6.03. It still looks traveled and stuff. Well, that limb's hanging on by a thread. It's about 6.05. So at 6.16, there's a big tree across the trail. Looks like people are going over it on the downhill side. I think I'm gonna go. Big step. No, I'll say 6.17. So the Palmetto Trail goes left here, but we're going to go right and go down to the old water wheel. It's just a little side trail. This is 6.28. See, here's a trail coming down. So I wonder if that trail that split earlier, if this is the trail that came down here, because that's the only other trail I've seen. This is at 6.33. What a real sight. So at this point, 6.35. Nothing but water. It looks like part of the walls collapsed. I'm assuming the wheel sat here and spun. Pretty neat little site. So I say this is 6.37, so I mean it's about 1/8 of a mile down here. Pretty cool. Another ammo box. Something in it. I just can't figure out how to get in it. So it shall remain a mystery. There's something in there though, just rattling around, but I just can't get it open. Anyway, we'll head back up and continue on the Palmetto. So head back at 6.37. It's definitely worth taking the little side trip down there if you're interested in that kind of thing. It wasn't long at all. I didn't even see that sign going down. It'd be cool if they had like a history with some like old photos or something. So this is where we came down. So now we're going to stay straight to stay on the Palmetto. Back on the main trail, 6.43. So it wasn't even an 1/8 of a mile. It's more like a 16th. So, oh, just one more climb till we're done with this passage. These 2 passages. But man, I'm glad we've had a good day for hiking. Nice little cascade here at 6.48. Nice little bridge. That looks kind of new. 6.49. So I think this starts the biggest climb of the day. So we're currently there. So you can see we're not far. Maybe a half mile. But this last half mile is all uphill. So I think we're starting that. But it's only like a 200-foot climb. It's nothing major, and we've not even done 1,000 feet total elevation gain today, so it's been pretty easy. And the trail has been fantastic, like not a lot of roots, and it's just been enjoyable. I have my first snack of the day, these honey stingers. Big step. It's a 6.59. What you doing? There you go. Hey. You're getting too ahead now. Because I think right there on that ridge is where the Stumphouse, or the Oconee connector that we did on the last hike. I think it's right there on that ridge. Sweet. Excuse me. You're making a mess. Sal, you're making a mess. What do you guys have for yourself? You ready to go? Come on, Sal. No. Yo, you're entering your grooming stage. I see, I recognize that. Hey. Hold your horse. Hey, hold your horses. And that right there looks like a trail, but I mean, there's no sign. Yeah, so like, I don't see anything on the map. This is at 6.85. No, it's showing like that it's like a little like just side trail. No, I didn't even see that right there. So like I say, it's not marked, so I'm not really sure. Haven't seen anything saying, oh yeah, okay, we're still on the Palmetto. So okay, so that's it. That is it for the Ross Mountain passage. So I say, you know, we covered Stumphouse and the Ross Mountain section. So to this point, 6.93. See, I mean, like, it just don't show. I guess because that little loop ain't big enough to really, on this scale of a map, to show it. But it's just kind of confusing. Let me pull up the park map and see. Okay, so I stand corrected. We are going to go left. We're going to take that old water wheel trail because that goes to the parking area where the foothills trail ends up. And then we got another short road walk. Then back on the old water wheel. And then back on the passages. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. 6.93. Okay. Now, like I said, I mean, like, if you wanted a shorter hike, the best thing to do would be have a buddy or like somehow have 2 cars or shuttle or something and park up here at Oconee and then get shuttled to Stumphouse or dropped off, you know, and then hike this way. That way you only end up with like probably 7.5 miles to your car instead of having to do like a 13 or 14 mile day. But overall, the terrain was great. Like, the trail was in good shape. For the most part, it was, well, Sally! Last time I looked, she was laying there. Anyway. So we're going to take this old water wheel trail, and we're just going to try to find us a place to hang the hammock and chill out, maybe have a snack, and just rest for a little bit before we hike back to the car. Of course, this is where, like I say, this is where we were at last weekend, where we go to Oconee, or Station Cove Falls and all that, going that way to Massey and Hidden Falls, and the rest of Oconee State Park is that way. And of course, you know, the Chamassey Knob and all that. So, like I say, we're going to stick on the old water wheel trail. So at 6.93, we're going to take a right on the old water wheel trail. There you go. And another thing I'll note is from Stumphouse to here, it was 1,178 feet of elevation gain, which is not bad over, you know, almost 7 miles of trail. So it's like, that's not even 200 feet per mile. It's really good. This would be a really good, I feel like, beginner trail outside of just the missing markings at the junctions in Stumphouse. If you've got a trail map, you can kind of figure it out. But yeah, as far as just the trail and stuff, I feel like this would be an easy hike for most people, one way anyway. Now know, I am doing it as an out and back, so obviously, you know, you add the mileage and you just get tired and all that. And I could see probably in summer, after everything blooms out and grows up, this trail here especially may get overgrown. So, because I mean, you can tell it's traveled, but definitely don't seem as traveled as what we've been on today. But this seemed to be like a relatively short trail down to the parking area. Like I say too, I'm looking for a place to hang in my hammock for a few minutes just to kick my feet up and relax. And hey, we'll keep showing out the way. You know, this trail here looks like it might get kind of steep, like if you were going up it. But they put in stairs, which is nice. But this is still a good sized little climb. Ow. Oh. I mean, unless it just helps like 50 years from now. Now I could see how this trail going up would be more moderate to strenuous. Well, that's a big uproot. Looks like people are going around it up the hill. This is at 7.11. Here's a tree across the trail at 7.22. See the parking lot through the trees. 7.27. I will say this part of the old watermill trail is more technical than what I've had all day. So, because it's had at least about 120 some feet elevation gain on it, and you know, it's not been unmanageable, but just kind of surprising. I wasn't expecting it. Plus, it was a little more like grown up. It had steeper sections and bigger steps. But anywho, here is the end or beginning of the Foothills Trail. So this is at 7.4. So I guess this is where you register for the day. So there's kind of a map. Okay, so Hidden Falls isn't even part of Oconee State Park. It's outside the park boundary a good ways. Huh. I think we go left now, because we're in this little parking area. So yeah, we need to walk the road down to connect up back up to the water wheel and on to the Palmetto again. But we need to find a place to hang the hammock and relax for a bit. So we came out right there where that orange blaze is, 7.4. So I'm just gonna walk this way. Kind of walk through the parking area. So, gateway to the Foothills Trail. So I kind of show a better map here of like the campground, like all the cabins that we saw last week, and all the different buildings and everything. Old water wheel site. Oh, okay, that little flat area was a wildlife viewing area, I bet. So there's a campground. So there's kind of some of the trail descriptions, etiquette. So this is the passage map, and it actually has the elevation profile. Let's see. Yeah, they rate the old water wheel trail moderate. Massey is moderate to strenuous. Pretty much everything's either moderate or moderate to strenuous. They've only got 3 easy trails. The Oconee Trail, Lake Trail, and Chestnut. So, and here's the bigger scheme of the Foothills Trail. So we're down here. So if y'all watched my section hike of the Foothills Trail, I did it over 3 weekends or 4 weekends. So I did it from Table Rock, trying to remember, yeah, Table Rock to Frozen Creek, which is up here in Gorges, then Frozen Creek to Bad Creek, and Bad Creek to Oconee. Which I tell you, that Bad Creek to Oconee, like that got me. Like I needed another night. So I was so wiped out after that. But anyway, so here's the parking area. This is where most people either get dropped off or park for the Foothills Trail. As you can see, it's a pretty small parking area. Fills up pretty quick. Oh, it is one way. I know it's my home trail, but I just don't know that I'll do it again. If I'm being honest, like I've done 1 or 2 overnights on it since, but it's just not my personal favorite trail. But it was cool to do and to complete. But anyway, we'll walk down the road, maybe find us a place to hang the hammock, and have us a snack break. There's some azaleas. So down here is more parking. I've never been down here. I'd always managed to get a spot up there in the main parking area. There's room for like 5 or 6 cars. I think this might be where the old water wheel trail. Sally, where are you going? Yeah, so we'll take a left here. This is at 7.56. And this overlaps with Old Water Wheel and Oconee trails. And this is at 7.58. So that road walk was probably about 1/8 of a mile or all over that. I just keep looking for hammock trees. I really don't want to hang on ones that's burnt. Alright, so here's back at the intersection with the Palmetto Trail. So we're going to go straight because on that map it showed that this like open area, and I don't know if I even showed it on the film earlier. It was like a wildlife viewing area, so maybe there's a couple of trees I can find and just hang out and maybe see something. But to this junction is 7.67. So I think this is like the wildlife viewing area, but you can see like there's not, they don't apparently burn in here, so I might actually be able to find a couple of trees to hang from. Oh, it's kind of fenced. That's interesting. Well, I don't really see anywhere to hang, unfortunately, because we don't want to hang on like leaning trees. So I guess I'll keep going up the trail. Maybe we'll find something. It's a pretty cool little area. I wonder how often they actually have wildlife here. So to this point, 7.8. That's with me like walking all the way around. Anyway, so since we couldn't really find a place to hang, took a small break, put my phone on charge, because hopefully maybe I can fly the drone later. Yeah, just didn't see any wildlife, but Sally took a little nap. So we're going to continue on back on the passage, and then toward like the end of the Boss Mountain passage, it looked like there was a road or a trail or something that connected up to the Blue Ridge Trail. So I'm hoping I can take that and not just have to do an out and back on Stumphouse. So I'll show y'all. So we are currently somewhere on this map. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to take this, take down, road walk, get on the trail there. And then at the end of it, see there's this road here. And it looks like it goes up and hits that Blue Ridge Railroad Historical Trail. So I'm hoping I can do that. And then come out by Oconee and go ahead and go see the falls. Alright, so we'll just see what it looks like. So if it's grown up and like a lot of poison and stuff, I'm not gonna mess with it. But I just thought it'd be something. It's always, for me, it's always better if I, get to see something different and do some sort of loop or something. Just, cause I just like seeing different stuff. So, back at this intersection at 7.86. So we'll take a right. Or sorry, well, if you just came down without doing the wildlife, you'd take a right, but we're taking a left since we're coming from the wildlife viewing area. Rolling up, so it's 7.86 at this point. And got a little signboard there about fungus. So you can see that wildlife viewing area down there. And I did give Sally a snack back there as well. I gave her a beef stick. Oh, I just finished my gummies and drink some of my Element electrolyte drink because I just really hadn't felt hungry today. So I just really enjoying today. I know usually I say that on hikes, but sometimes you just need time in the woods. Okay, so this is that one junction that we passed earlier. The Oconee Trail goes right, Palmetto stays straight, 8.28. Okay, so here's where whatever that is goes straight, but the Palmetto turns. I don't think there's a sign here that says that. It's just that, you know, trails is blocked by that little tree, so it's oh no, so there is a sign there. That's it, 8.37. All right, we're leaving the state park. So this is 8.65. All right, we're back on the road walk. 8.67. So I don't know if y'all would see that, but there's like a building like right in here somewhere. That is Walhalla High School. I'll actually pull up Google Maps and see what it was for the high school. And I'm pretty sure, just looking at the map and stuff, I think that over there is Paris Mountain. I'm about positive. I mean, I can't find anything on the map that, you know, would be that high. So, but a cool view up here. I wasn't expecting to have, I mean, I knew it was on the ridge, but I figured it would be like, you know, blocked or whatever. So there's that 724C road, 9.71. Alright, so we're back up here by the dove fields. 10.19. What are you doing? What are you doing? Alright, so here's where the Palmetto Trail comes off the road and back into the tree line. 10.49. Sally, this way, baby. Sally thinks she heard something, but I couldn't see it. But unfortunately, I think that's the way the trail is going. That's a squirrel. There was something bigger. It was a deer or something. So I just now realized I forgot my bear spray. So hopefully we don't see no bears. Alright, jet lightning. Get it! Get it! Oh, she got it. Release. Yeah. Ready? Go get it. Go get it. I was hoping to burn out some of that extra energy. Come on. Oh, so I took a little bit of a break back there in the curve. Charge my phone and get me a bar out, because finally after almost 11 miles, hunger has set in. So just gonna have this little nut seed bar thing. I've got another bar, but it feels like too much for the 4 miles we have out, 4 or 5. So but I've got it handy just in case. So I ate the one bar and it's like I could go for another snack. So I mean, my last one that I brought, which is the banana bread superfood cookie. So keep munching on that as we go down the trail. Daddy need some water? Need some water. This is 11.31. You need to get in the water again? reserve property. And I think this is what it shows going over and hitting that Blue Ridge Railroad historical trail in like 5/8 of a mile. What do these signs say? So we're back at this junction at 11.79. Foot travel only. Okay. Motorized vehicles and horses prohibited. It's just a heritage preserve. So perfect. See, this looks like an old road or something. Okay, cool. So we're going to take this and try to connect up to that Blue Ridge thing. So hopefully it stays like this. That'd be fantastic. So I'll say about 11.8, something like that. And if you start hearing beeping in the background, it's just my watch is like, hey, you've deviated. But unfortunately, I don't know of anything I can do on the watch to say I'm okay with being off course right now, you know. That'd be kind of nice, like if it just popped up a message saying you're off course and you want to continue. Something like that, that'd be cool. But hopefully it's like this the next, I think according to Gaia this was like 5/8 of a mile to the other trail. So we'll see. I mean, definitely seems used. Sally has went MIA. Where'd you disappear to? So, here looks like maybe some sort of trail too. They don't show anything on the map though. It's at 11.95. Continue. Whatever. What do I know? So, just as a note, this is part of the back, one of the back trails that's in Stumphouse. Carry on. Go ahead. Come on. I'm sure the video ain't doing it justice, but this here's been a little climb. Wow, nice little ridgetop view here. Come on. So I think this is the top of the climb. So 12.12. So far today we've got 1,913 feet of elevation gain. Oh man, it feels good up here. So I think I've managed to get off the trail. Because, I mean, I checked the map and it don't look like it connects up to where I thought it did. So I'm gonna backtrack and try to figure out how I missed that turn. So that's it, 12.24. I mean, this is pretty heavily used, so I feel like, you know, if I don't see anything when I go back, then of course I'm wondering if it was down there where we saw the one trail, and I just assumed that without really looking at the map that this was the trail, you know, like going down to connect to the trail. So it's really my fault because I should have checked it down there. But anyway, because I knew we were supposed to be going down, so hopefully we ain't too far off. But I didn't see another trail. I mean, it's probably up here. I just wasn't looking for it because, you know, why would you look for a trail? This is so nice. So, I mean, it shows that, like, the trail turns toward going that way. But I don't see anything. We may just have to backtrack all the way back and just do the Stumphouse thing back. Because, like, I don't want to, like, diddle-daddle. So, like, I mean, I literally just don't see any kind of trail. See, now it's showing we're kind of back on it. But see, it's showing that it's going that way, but there was nothing up there. So we may just backtrack back to Stumphouse because, you know, like I say, I mean, this was kind of an unknown because nothing else showed it. And I don't really, you know, yeah, I don't want to be out here wandering around, not really having, especially when, like, it shows, like, you know, you would think that would be a pretty obvious route, it being an old, like, road or something, unless that's just not accurate, and it actually, this was it just comes out in a different spot. Because I remember when I did the Blue Ridge Trail, like, seeing, like, an old forestry road type like this. Brakes! I half expect you to go flying head over heels doing that. But I mean, I literally just don't see any trail. And now, and like, we're below it. But there was nothing up there. So if somebody knows that's, like, done this trail, where this actually goes, I'm going to try to look at it on the map, like, on the satellite, and see if I can figure it out. But it's just kind of getting late because it's, like, I think it's after 5. So we'll just take the known path back. Just disappointing because I really wanted to walk the Blue Ridge thingy back, but, and get by Oconee, but maybe we'll just, I don't know, we'll figure it out one thing at a time. But I mean, I don't know, that's just frustrating because, like, I was like, oh, that'll be easy. I should have known. But I mean, like, just the way it's shown, it's like an old road, and I mean, we did over half of it. But I don't know. Unless they like rerouted it, and that trail that's down here is it, or wherever it was. I know we saw a trail, but like I say, it's just kind of a big unknown. I really don't know, and it's not like they have a map or anything saying You can go this way. I mean, you would think it's all part of Stumphouse Park. They would have like a map showing all the trails, but maybe this is not actually part of the park boundary, even though one of the trails is just right there, but no, I don't know. Anyway, we'll just keep showing y'all the way. See, it just says Heritage Preserve. But, I mean, like, where does it go? See, 'cause, I mean, it don't even show that there even being a trail here. And this is at 12.52. I mean, maybe they rerouted it or something. I just don't know. I would hate to go all the way down this and then it not connect up. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, like, it's going that direction. I don't feel like this is it either. We'll go down here and check the stream out. Let Sally get one last drink of water. I mean, it's just disappointing. If anybody is familiar with this area, knows how I missed this, or if this is just non-existent now. Nice little stream here. But anyway, we'll head back up and hit the main trail since we can't find what we were looking to do. So down to this little stream is a 12.57. Oh, I mean, I don't know if Heritage Trust is the name of the preserve or if it's just Heritage Preserve. But I say, I mean, there's no marking saying whether this is even a hiking trail, where it ends up. You know, like, it'd be nice to have something. You know, especially if foot travel, it really is welcome. Oh, we're back on the main trail at 12.62. You know, if foot travel really is welcome, then you kind of need to provide a little information, or at least make some sort of map available or something. But, I mean, like I say, they could have rerouted the trail, maybe this road. But I mean, usually, you know, on like this type, like an old roadbed, it's pretty evident, even if it's grown up. And I just didn't see anything. Like I say, anybody familiar with up here and maybe has done this, let me know. Sally! No, calm down. Don't you snort at me? Oh, now we gotta go back up this stupid thing. Yeah, it's just disappointing. But, at least we're able to backtrack and it not be a major problem. Because, you know, like, even from once we get back to that main intersection, it's only like 1.5 or 1.7 to the car. But I'm glad I wasn't running low on daylight and trying this. Glad I got a little extra daylight. Here's the other place we saw the signs for the preserve. So, I mean, that road down there may just loop around and come back here. But, I mean, you wouldn't really know because there's no signs. But that's it. 12.78. I'm glad the whole trail wasn't these big rocks. Leave it alone, Sal. Oh, here's the trail. Okay. So now we'll take a left. So 12.78. Alright, so now we're back on the Stumphouse Tunnel passage at 12.8. Now we go left. So So that goes more, that's more for the more back trails, Stumphouse. Meanwhile, we'll stay to the left for the Palmetto. So here's like a junction. I guess that's more back trails. 12.95. I'm assuming those are the ones we saw when we were up there. That scared me. I wasn't expecting that. So, I think I tripped over this last time I was here. My foot just landed right under that stupid thing. Luckily I didn't fall, but I about did. And there's one right beside it too. But this one's more dangerous because your foot can actually go under it. 13.24. Because like, coming up, you know, like your foot just goes over the top of it. You know, it's mainly just coming back that is the tripping hazard. So. 13.24. Sally, did that root dye get me? Alright, let's go. Alright, there's the junction with more mountain biking trails to look, you know, where they loop and stuff like that. But we'll stay straight. So this is 13.25. So that just goes to another mountain biking loop. But see, when we were up on that ridge, like we were right here when we turned around. So I don't know if that connects up to this. Yeah. But anyway, this is 13.49. This is at 13.55. And we'll go ahead and walk down because we skipped it this morning. And see that little cascade. This is at 13.56. Let's see. I don't know, that don't look safe. That looked better this morning than it does right now. That's a big step up. So yeah, I think I'll skip that because my knee is still bothering me from the other day. So definitely just gonna skip it. I mean, it looks cool. It's just that looks like a really big drop, and I'm afraid it'll hurt my knee worse. But anyway, so we're back on the main trail at 13.57. Well, it looks like it cascades a little bit right in there too. It looks pretty. See, and you can tell like where people are going down. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I think we got about 3/4 of a mile or less to the car at this point on the easier side of things. But overall today has been easy. Like, you know, last week, you know, the 17-mile day, even though the 17's hard, like, I felt like it was easy. So if you were looking, you know, to get into doing longer distances, that would be a good option. This would also be a good option because really it hasn't been very technical at all. There's not much climbing, you know, because over the course of the 13.7 miles we've done so far, we only had 2,000 feet of elevation gain, and some of that was doing that trail to nowhere. This is at 13.73. So really, I think if you stuck to the trail and just did the loop with the way we did it, just without getting off trail, you would probably be about a little over probably 1,900 feet, which isn't bad over 13 miles. I mean, that's like a little over 100 feet per mile. That's just so pretty. But yeah, I mean, I feel like today was easy. Let's say, I mean, yeah, I mean, really none of it was moderate. Now, all of it's pretty easy walking, other than that downhill side. Even though there really didn't feel like that much downhill on that old water wheel. Like once we got to the end of the passage and then continued on, that part was probably the most technical of the day. But aside from that, it's easy. For the most part, it's well marked. I mean, y'all saw my video, the couple places that I felt like needs some more marking, but overall, not bad, you know. And like, I've seen some people today, but not many, especially, you know, like between here and Oconee. That's where I've seen the most people, is here and at the state park. The section in the middle, we saw 3 cars on the road, 1 going in and 2 going out. Actually 2 going in as well. So, you know, the only thing I would note is, particularly on the roadwalk section, is exposed. There's very little shade. So, you know, if you've got sun sensitivities or anything, or you're just trying to protect your skin, definitely recommend some sort of sun hoodie or something. It's just really pretty. But yeah, and I mean, there's been enough water for Sally to get, you know, water during the day where I didn't have to pack or any extra or like anything. So yeah, I mean, just overall, it's a really nice trail, you know, especially, you know, in each, you know, like hit on the Stumphouse side, you've got like the lake or lakes. I think this is just one big lake. But knowing some of the old ruins and stuff on the Oconee side, that was really cool to see the old water wheel ruins and stuff. Definitely think that was worth the side trip. So this is the exit for the mountain bike trails. So that's at 13.9. And yeah, I mean, just the trail has been really nice. Like, there's like I say, very few, you know, hazards or like tough spots. And the toughest spots were on, like, on that old water wheel, going down to the parking lot past the end of the passage. We'll keep showing you all the way out. But definitely very, very nice. This is probably my 3rd favorite passage that I've done. East of Toe is still my number 1 pick, because that was just a really nice trail. You know, and especially, you know, including the trails at Kiwi and stuff to see the lake. The What was the other passage I did? There was one other one I liked too, but now I can't think of what it was. Anyway, but this one would rank up there for sure. As I say, you do have, you know, stuff to see and keep things a little bit interesting. And that's at 13.97. The only major thing I have is just on this portion of the trail that's in Stumphouse, it's just listening for bikes because they come around flying and you just kind of gotta be paying attention. So here's like a trail junction and we keep straight at 14 miles. Now I think that may be like a shortcut up to the parking lot. I really don't know. I don't think I've walked up that. And probably too just like on the road walk, listen for cars. You know, how I say, it does get dusty if it's been dry, you know, when a car goes by. So like I was waiting, you know, a few seconds or maybe closer to a minute just to let the dust settle back down. But anyway, it's a good one for sure. No, so this is another good one just to get, you know, doing like bigger mile days if you're trying to do that, or maybe even trying to get into trail running. Like it'd probably be good for that. So we'll just keep showing you all the way to the car. I don't think we're probably much more than about half mile out. So here's those runs. This is at 14.21. Trying to decide if I wanted to go back down through there or not. So this is where the Palmetto Trail kind of goes that way. But like I say, this is the one place on the trail that there's a bunch of junctions and no signs. Like none. I see none. But we're going to go down this way. This is at 14.25. And just go see a little bit of the runs. Because why not? Oh, and this was at 14.31. Alright, so we're back at the main junction, 14.35. And that goes down to the parking lot as well. Alright, but that finishes the passages. So 14.42, we're back in the parking lot. Like I said, I don't know if I pointed that out, but they got like a little pump and tools and stuff for bikes. But we're going to walk down the road and go see Oconee Falls. Just from the overlook, we're not going to walk down to the base or anything. We're just going to walk to the overlook to see it. So it's a nice evening. Why not? We're here. I think I showed these on the way in, the little picnic tables. I like that they have like the little roofs and stuff over them. That makes it nice. Of course, you know, it kind of feel like it needs to extend out a little more, so if you're sitting like and it's blowing rain, I kind of don't feel like you would stay dry under there unless you were just standing on top of the table. But I applaud the effort because at least they did try to like, give you some sort of coverage. And it's nice. You got a little bridge over to that one there. So this is where we drove in on. Don't pet the fuzzy vine. So it's Oconee Falls. This is 14.5. So you just kind of walk through this little parking area here. So this is a pretty nice little parking area with a picnic table. I got all the bins and stuff for garbage. So got a nice little trail here. So here's where that Blue Ridge Railroad hiking trail was that I was hoping. See, it says not a loop trail, so I wonder if they've like closed off that's shown that we were going to try to do. I wonder if they've closed that off. You know, I mean, that would make an awesome loop. I don't know why they would close it, but anyway, it's Oconee Falls. So we'll go over there next, but I just wanted to see it from up here. I really don't feel like that's any kind of safety. So this is at 14.61. Here's a view from here. This is at 14.64. So you can go down, but I mean, I went down the last time, and I really don't have enough time today to do it. But this is really pretty just to stand here. Really pretty. But like I say, you can go down here and go down to the base, but it's late in the day today, so we'll skip it. But it's worth going down if you've got the time. But that was at 14.68 for the day. So cool. Oh, they got a nice little bench here to sit and enjoy that view. Anyway, I'm on our way back to the car. Just really, really pretty. So here's more kind of, I think I showed this when I was here last time, was all the information boards about Oconee. And I will say, like, that trail, the railroad hiking trail, is actually really nice. If you got the time to throw that in, that'd be, like, I really enjoyed it. It's a relatively easy trail as well, from what I remember. Back at the entrance, 14.8. Alright, as you can see, I don't know if I showed just how big this parking area is. And I've seen it where there's people parked on this side and along here. Plus you got parking up there. And you got the picnic shelter over there. We'll walk over here. Because I don't think I've actually walked past the gazebo. I wonder how old the block picnic tables are. think it just goes over here to all these little picnic tables. These are really nice, like just amongst this little grove area. But you can see it just kind of dead ends back here. Nice grills and stuff. I don't think I'd want to use this one because it's got a leaning tree right over it. And I don't know where that goes. I mean, it kind of looks like people are going up that hill, but that seems kind of crazy. And plus too, like, if you got a little bit longer, you can go to Stumphouse Tunnel. What was I say? That's in my other video. I'll link that at the beginning, probably at the end as well. But that's when I did Yellow Branch Falls, which is right down the road, and then came up here and did the Blue Ridge thing, Stumphouse Passage, and Stumphouse Tunnel. So you can see a big picnic area. I'm sure that they probably rent out. But, and like I say, the parking lot is directional, so you exit out that way to the main road, to the road. And that is it for this trip. About 15 miles. It was a fun one. Always good to be on the trail. We'll see y'all next time.